In this video, we're going to talk about some ways people slow down their ability to bounce back after a breakup, along with what you can do to accelerate your recovery after a breakup or some type of rejection in your life. Now, this information comes from Professor of Psychology at Stanford, Carol Dweck. She also got her Ph.D. in Yale, and she's the author of Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. Now, the study I'm going to be talking about is one that she had done with doctoral candidate Lauren Howe. And this was a study that was done with 891 participants. And what the bottom line end result of it was that changes in self-definition impedes recovery. So in other words, if you've had a breakup or a divorce and you feel like it means that you're a bad person or that you're not really worthy of anything and that it means something about you, then you're going to be having a really tough time bouncing back. All right, so let's get into some of the details here. Now, what I want to show with you, basically, I'm just going to cut through to the chase and make this as valuable for you in the shortest amount of time as possible. Now, for those of you that want to get the actual study and read about it in greater detail, this is the thing to Google and look up. Changes in self-definition hinder post-rejection recovery, causing individuals to feel haunted by their past. That is, to fear the recurrence of rejection and to experience lingering negative effect from the rejection. And all kinds of movies are written about this sort of idea, and books are written about this type of concept. You know, we have some woman that had a breakup and now she'll never love again. And you'll see this in all kinds of movies as well. And this is a natural thing because of negativity bias that we have in our brain. Our brain wants us to be able to learn from very painful experiences so that the brain says, hey, let's not do that thing anymore. But the challenge is that if a person's had a breakup and yeah, it's a real tough thing and then they take it personally, not only does it slow down their ability to bounce back, but it ends up causing them to fear having relationships again in the future because their brain is like creating a link towards relationship that says relationships are bad. Okay. And ultimately, this is ridiculous. This is like a person going out and eating, having a meal, and throwing up and saying, oh my God, I ate and I vomited, and so I'll never eat again. Right? When you look at it in that kind of way, it seems kind of silly, but the brain does kind of have these kinds of connections that it makes. So if you keep, replaying memories and feeling negative and stressed about it, then it's not a really good thing to be doing. It's actually very bad. And it's a natural thing, our brain wants us to be able to find patterns in things and find out what's good and what's bad in order to be able to increase the ability to have predictive power about the way things operate. So let's continue here. Beliefs that prompt people to tie experience of rejection to self-definition cause rejection's impact to linger. Now, what Carol Dweck found is that there's basically two kinds of personalities. One is the entity theory of personality. These are people who believe that they just can't change their personality. These people also believe that rejection reveals who they are, right? They'll believe that, oh, well, if I broke up with that person or if I had that divorce, oh, that means I'm a horrible person. Everyone thinks that I'm, bad. There's something wrong with me. So obviously that's not going to be a good response to that kind of adversity. Now, on the flip side is the incremental theory of personality. Now, these people believe that they can change personality and improve. And they also believe that rejection is a lesson for the future. And this is extremely beneficial because this is closer to the truth. Okay, because if a person has the entity theory of personality, then they believe that things are rigid. They'll have a very, rigid model of the world. And this is ultimately wrong because everything is continually changing. The person that you are now, there isn't a cell in your body that's the same that was 8 years ago. Your entire body is completely rebuilt. So you're continually changing and rewiring yourself all the time. Okay, so having the more incremental theory of personality is a far more greater model of the world to have because it's more accurate. Okay, so now that we know that, let's get down to the real brass tacks here, which is this: how to accelerate recovery, right? Like once we know this, it'd be nice to know, okay, what's the things to do to be able to bounce back after a breakup and be able to rise from the ashes after a rejection? Well, obviously that's going to be to take the incremental view. So this view treats intelligence as malleable, fluid, and changeable. right? So these students see satisfaction coming from the process of learning, and they often see opportunities to get better, which leads us into the growth mindset. So people with a growth mindset, when faced with failure, they react differently. Okay, these people consider various ways that they could approach tasks differently and increase their efforts. So in other words, some people will try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, and then eventually they just stop trying, right? They'll stop having relationships. They'll just stop doing the things that had given them adversity. When the better way to go is to have that growth mindset, which is try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust, so that you're continually changing and shifting, kind of like one of those torpedoes that's fired or a plane that takes off. You know, when a plane is going to a destination, it's off course 90% of the time. It's continually balancing back and forth, wibble wobbling to get to its destination. Right? It's continually adjusting, right? Just like a torpedo, a heat-seeking missile. It's never going in a straight line, right? It's always kind of weaving and serpentining back and forth, left and right, right? Try, fail, and adjust. And that's what that growth mindset is. So if you're looking to be bouncing back and accelerating your own recovery, that's the way to be thinking, and no longer linking that rejection to your own personality and who you think you are and your own self-definition. So if you want to bounce back big time hardcore, just think about all the lessons that you got from the past, accept it, and then bring that education with you forward into the future. You'll have a much better go of having that rock star resilience to make your life better and stronger and rebuilding your future in much more empowering ways.